Episode 6 of Season 3 of Yellowjackets was a wild episode. By far the best episode of Season 3. That ending was absolutely insane. So today let's break down the promo for Episode 7. I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. So Episode 7 is titled Croak. And we got about a 30-second promo video for it, and some interesting things are going down. So the trailer opens up with the man who stumbled upon their campsite at the end of episode 6. We know that a man and a woman discovered the girls, and they saw what they did to Coach Ben. They saw Ben's head. So in the trailer for episode 7, the man says,
"You all are, oh my God."
So I think he recognizes them as the missing soccer players. At this point, they've been missing for like over a year, and I'm sure at the time when the plane crashed, it was this huge story in the news. And I feel like by him saying this, he recognizes them. And then we have Shauna and the rest of the group holding the woman captive. And Shauna says we can still get rescued without any witnesses. So obviously, Shauna wants to kill these two people because they witnessed what they did to Coach Ben. And of course, they don't want this getting out. We know this from throughout the seasons. They stay very tight-lipped about exactly what went down. And I do think that this in particular, with the hikers or the bird watchers, whatever you want to call them, I think this is mainly what they want to keep a secret. When it comes to them eating each other to survive, I feel like that's one thing. You know, you had to do what you had to do to survive, but killing these people is completely unnecessary. They could have just went home with them. We know that they're not going home yet. They have at least 2 months left in the wilderness because we know that the whole pit girl scene happens in the dead of winter when there's a lot of snow around. So we still have a little bit of time left in the wilderness. So it is not looking good for these people. They're gonna die. And the outside world would probably view them killing these people as completely unnecessary. They could have just went home. Now we also get adult Shauna in a car driving to Virginia. It looks like she has some kind of weapon in her hand. I honestly can't tell if it's a gun or a knife. And she's with Van and Ty, and they ask her, "What are you planning to do to this woman?" And Shauna says, "I'm gonna sit her down and have a gentle, reasonable conversation." Now we know what that means. When it comes to Shauna, there is no gentle, reasonable conversation. She is going to F this woman up. So we see that she is driving to Virginia. I don't know who or what is in Virginia. I do think it's whoever has been stalking Shauna this entire season, who I do think is Melissa. I did a video on this. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I think that Melissa is the 8th survivor, and she's the one who's been stalking Shauna and left the tape for her. I go into great detail in my theory video on this, but also in the episode 7 promo, we get a quick shot of all of the teens running through the wilderness. I'm thinking that maybe one of the hikers gets away and starts running, and the teens are all going to have to chase them. We get a quick shot of adult Ty, who looks to be eating dirt. We know that this has happened before, and we said in my episode 6 breakdown that other Ty has been coming out. I do think that other Ty has been here the entire season 3. I think that pretty much since her car accident with her wife Simone, I think other Ty has been here the entire time. And we pretty much got confirmation of this in episode 6, where actual Ty is trying to communicate with Van and asking for help. Those were some creepy scenes. Van got that phone call on that old school phone, and it was actual Ty asking for help. And then also the scene where they're in bed together. Ty wakes up out of her sleep and asks her to help her. That was so scary. So yeah, we get this shot of Ty eating dirt. I don't know what's gonna happen with Ty. And then we also got this shot of teen Lottie with blood on her face, which this is the scene that we see in episode 5 when Shauna was in Lottie's bedroom. We got this quick image of Lottie with blood on her face, and I'm thinking that Lottie might be the one to kill the male hiker. I think the male hiker is going to die in episode 7. I think they're pretty much going to kill him right away. And I do think that they're going to keep the woman alive. And she's actually going to end up being Pit Girl. I did do a theory video on this pretty recently. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out. We get this shot of the woman in the episode 7 promo as well. Her hair is very Pit Girl-like. If you look up the actress in real life, her name is Ashley Sutton. Her hair is very short and polished looking. So the fact that this woman has long brunette hair, looks very similar to Pit Girl, I think that's intentional. This actress is wearing a wig because I think it's going to be revealed that she's Pit Girl. Also in this image, Natalie is holding a first aid kit, and Van also says we have to find these people so we can go home. So I'm thinking that this couple is part of a bigger group. The hikers probably tell them like, please don't do anything to us. We have a bigger group, like we can bring you guys home. And Van wants to find them so they can finally get rescued. I do think though that some of the girls deep down don't want to go home. They've created this society, and after the things they've done, it's going to be so hard to reacclimate into their lives. I think that's why Lottie yelled no when the people stumbled upon them, because seeing outsiders kind of broke the illusion of their lives out there in the wilderness. Like I said earlier, I think we still have about 2 months left in the wilderness. We know that episode 6 was in October during Canadian Thanksgiving, and Pit Girl scene doesn't happen until the winter time. So what I think is going to happen is they kill the man, keep the woman hostage, she's going to be Pit Girl, and the rescue team that eventually comes is going to be really looking for the couple and find the girls, and they'll have no choice but to go home. Now, something that I think is interesting, I have heard this fan theory that a lot of people think that the group is going to break off into separate groups. There's going to be half the group who wants to get rescued and go home, and the other half wants to stay in the wilderness. I can honestly see that happening. I feel like Lottie and Shauna especially don't really want to go home. And someone like Van does want to go home because she said we have to find the rest of these people and go home. And that honestly makes me question how many survivors we actually have. So there's this fan theory that there are 8 survivors, and this is based off of the whole Pit Girl scene, because we know in the Pit Girl scene there are 8 people. And we have only seen 7 survivors: Van, Shauna, Ty, Misty, Natalie, Travis, and Lottie. And in Pit Girl scene, there's 8 people. So there's this question of who is the 8th survivor. I do think that it's Melissa. But if the group does break off into 2 separate groups, could that mean there's more survivors out there? But it also makes me wonder if only one of the group is going to get rescued and the other group gets left behind in the wilderness. Especially because there is this new fan theory I've been seeing that some people think that Aquila is going to be left in the wilderness because of her vision in the previous episode, episode 6. She goes back into the caves and she sees the group in her vision running around, and they're kind of glitching in and out. And Aquila says, "Where is everyone?" So I've heard a few people say they think that the group is going to get rescued but leave Aquila behind. That honestly makes me so sad to think about, but I don't know. I feel like they gotta do something like that to really blow our minds. Also, with all of these bird watchers who are in the area, it makes me wonder if civilization really was just out of reach. We saw in season 1, Ty wanted to take a trip to go on a journey and see if civilization was nearby. Obviously, all these bird watchers could have taken a trip deep into the wilderness, but what if they really are very close to civilization? The thought of that honestly haunts me. But that is it for today. That's our little episode 7 promo breakdown. Some other theories thrown in there. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. I am so excited for episode 7. Honestly, Friday cannot get here soon enough. But please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on future Yellowjackets theories and these weekly episode breakdowns. I will be doing an episode 7 breakdown. If you haven't seen my episode 6 breakdown, definitely go check it out. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.